Guys, we're going live with two of my favorite guests on War Week Boxing. Boy, two champs in my mind, Big Rick Glaser and Adam Montequilla Lopez, and much, much more on the latest edition of War Week Boxing.
Can smell manly if you listen to Real Talk with Rick Glaser.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Rocky Balboa. We appreciate you doing the intro for Big Rick Glaser. Rick, how art thou, brother? Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Another Monday and another half hour of quick-paced boxing questions, and I can't wait to get started here.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I couldn't do this without Mr. Montequilla, Adam Lopez. How art thou, butterman?
Hold it. You've done it a lot of times without him. What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you what, I do miss my brother G Funky. He was the original co-host for Real Boxing with Rick Glaser, and he's dealing with family duties, and we want to give a big shout out to his little angel, Selena. She's an amazing young lady, and God is great. God is great, guys. So let's start with this.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bang!
Thank you, Teddy. You stated this on February 16th, 10 p.m. With Keyshawn Davis winning the WBO World Lightweight title. That's now really upped his status. Keyshawn wants Tank Davis badly, but I don't see Tank taking that fight. Tank has not shown the desire to fight anyone unless he has a huge edge, like moving a guy up or down in weight, or someone that is a B-level fighter. Davis is huge for the weight class, plus would have a huge reach advantage over Tank. Let's hope it happens. Rick, you really don't think with enough money from Riyadh season, you don't see Tank Davis? Because look, I don't think he's going to have a choice later this year.
Well, you may be right about that. That part I will say. But as it stands today, no. Okay, Keyshawn is huge, got long arms, power, and he was a great amateur. He was a silver medalist in the Olympics. Just in 2021. And he's a young, strong guy, fresh. I think that Tank would have. I think this guy beats Tank. People think I'm crazy. I'm not so crazy. I may be crazy, but that's not the reason.
I think it's 55-45 in favor of Tank Davis. But look, he looked awfully good in dispatching little Phil Collins against all odds in the air tonight in 4 rounds. Rick, did you see that one coming?
No, I didn't, because I thought that he beat Navarrete, and Navarrete was a 3-division world champion and real good fighter, and he beat him, and I figured this was going to be a tough fight, and he'd stop him in 10, 11 rounds. I never thought and dreamed the guy would be down 2-3 times in 4 rounds, and they'd have to stop it with a body shot. I mean, just didn't see that coming. I mean, that's people saying, well, Baranchek is a bum. No, he's not a bum.
No.
Okay. But Keyshawn made him look like a bum. This is what Crawford does to people. People think, oh, he fought a bum. No, Crawford fought all number 1 contenders, all good fighters. He made them look like bums. They're that good. They separate themselves, and that's how they separate themselves. And people don't recognize that. They look at the other fighter like they're bums. They're not bums.
Yep, guys at the world-class level, there are no easy fights. And keep in mind, Berencik, with that deep amateur background, undefeated, decisively beating El Vaquero in his last fight, Navarrete. Yeah, guys, in the immortal words of Mickey Dolenz of Monkeys fame, I'm a believer. Keyshawn Davis is the goods. Adam, what say you? Does Tank beat Keyshawn Davis if they tangle later this year?
I mean, I've gone against Tank so many times and the guy wins, but Keyshawn is at like another level. You know, he reminds me of, I remember back in the day when Adrian Broner and Terrence Crawford were fighting at the same time. It was like 2013, 2014. And a lot of people were saying that there needs to be a dream matchup between Broner and Terrence Crawford at the time. They were both undefeated. This is like the same kind of thing. Keyshawn just kind of looks like he's coming into his full form. I really like that. That was a good fight against Berencik. And I have to go with Rick. I kind of like Keyshawn versus Keyshawn a little bit more than Tank. Plus, Tank already has his foot out, already halfway out the door. He's already talking about retirement. So I mean, he's not looking to take anybody seriously. He's looking for a payday, and then he's going to cash out.
No, he's not taking. No, you meant to say he's not going to fight anybody serious. That's serious, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Right.
He's for quick payday, and he's gonna
He says
fucking
that wasn't taking anybody seriously, but yeah, I get what you were trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, and look, if this is the way Tank Davis is going to go out, if he's genuine in saying, "Hey, I'm going to retire. I don't like the mindset that I have when I'm in boxing. I want to be a better, more devoted father." Why wait? Just leave then. After this Lamont Roach fight, give up the title, make some room for other more hungry, devoted fighters. And hey, we're not going to miss you. We're not going to miss you. Sayonara. Rick, do you think he should just leave after the Lamont Roach fight?
Well, he keeps threatening to retire and hasn't yet. Keeps talking about his daughter that he's supporting, and I'm glad he's supporting his daughter. But he doesn't have a fighter's attitude as far as outside what he says. When he gets in the ring, he's got a fighter's attitude, but outside he's saying all the wrong things. So it doesn't sound promising going forward.
Yeah, look, Rick, is this a sign that you're already checked out when you're talking about this?
Normal circumstances there is, but most guys that talk like that don't have that kind of crunching power. So that's the saving grace for this guy is that crunching power.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
it's a little different. It's a little different.
Yeah, look, most guys, when they are paired up like this, elite level matchups, this is what makes this matchup so enticing. Keyshawn Davis has knockout power. He's got elite level skills, and he seems to have that mindset like Adam alluded to. And so does Tank. Like most of the time at the elite level, you don't see knockouts, but I think this one would end in a knockout. That's what makes this fight to make Adam. Is there a greater demand now to see Keyshawn Davis versus Tank Davis than Shakur?
Yes.
yeah.
He's more exciting. Absolutely. More exciting. And excuse me, Adam, but more exciting. And he's a puncher and will put pressure on you. And I think he's got more of a personality, to be honest with you. My wife and I find Keyshawn to have a great personality, very engaging to the fans. And, you know, to be honest, Shakur fights like he doesn't even want to be in there.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed. Adam, your thoughts, brother?
Okay, Rick, I gotta ask you something. What
Okay.
was up with the fucking fruit basket? Who was behind it? Who was
the
behind
rumor was Tiafimo.
And was he, or is that just the rumor?
They don't know. Nobody knows. But the rumor was it was Tiafimo.
That's insane. What is Tiafimo's like? Where's he standing right now with Top Rank? Because I heard he got shelved, or that was the rumor that he was getting shelved. Is he gonna fight, or does he want to fight with?
Listen, let me explain this to you.
Okay,
What you heard and what he says and what they say doesn't matter. The
okay.
result matters. We haven't seen him get back in the ring yet. Let's see what he does. The guy's a flake.
Spoken like a true boxing lifer. I love it. I love it. Guys, before we move forward, let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat who have some questions for both you and Rick. Adam, Alberto, my brother in Christ. Welcome to the show, sir. Saludos to you, my friend. And he says, kudos, Rick. He is one of the only ones who called Barbosa to beat Catterall. I did too. So did Adam. Do we have another upset brewing this Saturday with Floyd Schofield? Big Rick.
I don't think so. He's not experienced enough in big fights, and I don't see it. I think he was a year and a half away from challenging anybody very good for the title. And Shakur, despite having a stinky style, he's a great fighter. Ability wise, he just I mean realistically he could make he's about as exciting watching paint dry and grass grow.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, but that will be enough to beat an inexperienced guy like Floyd Schofield, I think.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I tell you what, hold on. Just for you, Adam, we're gonna do this.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Fact or fiction, Mr. Lopez? Floyd Schofield Jr. is correct when he states Shakur will become safety first when he feels my power. Fact or fiction this Saturday?
Yeah, I think fiction. I think the fuck is that, dude? I think Shakur. I think Floyd Schofield doesn't land a punch. Really, he's not gonna land anything clean, at least. So yeah, that's gonna be fiction.
Wow. Do you concur, my friend Rick?
I think that Shakur is going to do his best to stink the joint out because I think the other guy's going to come forth like a bull. So that's how I'm looking at the fight. And I mean, I think that Shakur wins easy. Don't get me wrong, decision. But for Shakur to win most fights, he's got to stink the joint out because that's how he fights. That's him.
Oh, I hope you're wrong, Rick, but I have a feeling
Well,
that you
it's
are
a
right.
funny thing. If I'm right and he stinks the joint out, Turkey El Sheik will never want to see him again.
Yeah.
So there will. That's the hidden gem to this whole thing.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, let's hope it's not the DoorDash fight of the evening. Let's just face it, guys. If it starts stinking out the joint, I'm going to run and get a pizza or call DoorDash. Yeah, that's it. I hope.
Rick, can I ask you one more other thing? What do you call it? Turkey met with Top Rank and who else did he meet with? I forgot who it was. Is he really gonna start? Is he gonna? Oh, Al Heyman. Is he gonna buy PBC and Top Rank? Is that
I have no idea. I have no idea what he's planning. Don't have the foggiest. Don't know. But what's there to buy with PBC? There's nothing there.
Yep.
What are you buying?
Okay, so they don't have a roster per se.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because I mean, it's all just a bunch of promoters under one banner, correct?
Basically, but
Yeah.
their film library ain't worth their shit. You don't get Floyd's fights. Floyd's got his own rights to his own fights. The film library is not worth much. They're all modern fights that's happened in the last 10 years. Nobody's beating the doors down for any of those fights. They don't have anybody wants. What do they got? They got a wounded roster. They got all old guys and guys that are just shot and hanging on. David Benavides, he's no pay. He just did 69,000 pay-per-view buys. There's an example right there. I mean, doesn't mean anything.
Speaking of which, let's go to the latest Rick Glaser Twitter watch. You just stated at 6:51. Oh my, Keith Thurman going all out on becoming wacky. Have a listen to Keith. And I tell you what, in this video, He's basically stomping on Tim Tszyu, saying, "You know what, man? I should have taken that fight with one arm, man. It would have been a huge mismatch still. I would have
No,
done."
no one knows. No one knows.
And
He would have been
USA
destroyed.
runs boxing
He,
chump.
when you're out as long as he has, and he hasn't had a tune-up, and he's fighting at 154, not 47, a big, strong guy. Okay, he doesn't know how shot he is. Because remember something, the sparring partners are not nearly these using are not nearly as good as Tim Tszyu. They're local guys, they're journeymen, so he doesn't know how shot he is. When he gets hit with that crunching power, that guy will be on the Keith will be on the deck. He won't have any legs. That's how
Oh,
that
boy.
goes down.
Yeah, how old is Keith
Oh.
Thurman now? Keith Thurman's like 40,
36
right?
years old. Wait, hold on. With a balding head.
That's probably got to be one of the biggest wastes of talent is Keith
No,
Thurman.
no question. No question.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Tank Davis, take a good look, because that's what you're looking at, brother. That's what you're looking at. Is that what you want to be?
No,
Rededicate.
no. Tank fights twice a year. Okay, no, that's Joe. That's miscategorized. You're talking about a guy that's fought twice, including once in 2019 and once in 2021. You're talking about a guy that's fought twice in the last 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I
come
can
on.
know what my
Tank at least
point was.
fights twice a year. Come
No,
on,
I know
the
up to
apples
this
and
point.
oranges, Joe.
No, yeah. No, I know up to this point. I'm saying I can see Tank Davis being the groundhog and coming out maybe once every couple of years, seeing his shadow, and just fighting just for the Hades of it. Because look,
I don't.
he's got the same mindset, mentality. Where's the incentive? He already made millions. And
Let
he
me
doesn't obviously
tell you a
doesn't have
little
to.
story, Joe. Let me tell you a true story. You ready? Gary Russell Sr.
Oh boy.
called up my Al Heyman and said, Al, I have a question for you. Heyman says, what's that, Gary? He says, why is my son only fighting once a year? He says, because if you fight twice a year, you have twice as much chance to lose your title. So if you only fight once a year, you can only lose that one time. If you fight twice, you can lose one out of two times. He doesn't need to lose that title. That's very valuable to him. God's honest truth. He said that.
You've got
There
to
you
be
go.
kidding.
Nope.
Oh, gee, Al. Well, I tell you what, what's that title worth now?
Well,
He couldn't even
now
follow my lead
he's
on a Saturday
37 years
night.
old with no legs. Now he's 37 with no legs.
Yep, there it is.
Oh.
There it is. And JumpTube says, sure, if there's a Rick Later Twitter watch, asking you shall receive, my friend. Also, my brother in Christ, Mr. Iceman. Good to see you, my friend. Also, Alberto says, hey, do we have an update on the Keith lawsuit? Speaking of Keith, different Keith, though.
Yeah, it's coming out in a couple days. My lawyer's been on two other cases, and which were a lot bigger than Keith Idec, trust me. And in the meantime, everything's bigger than Keith Idec. You want to know the truth? This is like a my lawyer's using an alpha gun. An alpha gun to shoot a rodent.
Oh, Chingal. Tell you what, the dildo with ears has nothing. Nothing. He's a quasi-journalist who doesn't do anything for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a has-been before he ever was anything. Alberto says, yep, Rick is firing on all cylinders today. He definitely had his cup of coffee today.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like
I don't
Rick's
drink
got very
coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink. I don't drink coffee. I don't do drugs. I'm the real deal. I tell it like it is. No one's barred for my wrath.
And there
Sometimes
it
my
is.
wife's
There
not
it
even
is.
barred for my wrath.
Well, touche. And man, I know we have great fighters this Saturday, but I don't want to wait until September for Crawford. Anyone, can he fight in the meanwhile? Tell us why he's
No.
not taking a tune-up for this.
Because he believes that one of the reasons why he gets in such supreme shape is because he trains over a very long period of time when he knows he has a fight coming up, and he works up to a crescendo. And his body doesn't get roughed up that way. His mind, he knows what he's doing. He knows what his body, his mind is telling him. Obviously, it works for the guy. He's been fighting once a year since 2020.
Oh boy, I tell you what, you can't argue with the results. And guys who want to give a big shout out to my brother G Funky Boxing. Woo! Love you, brother. Good to see you on the board. Miss you. And he says, JumpTube says, Rick, why didn't Keyshawn go up to the WBA to mandate Tank?
You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. WBC champ can't call for that. If you're a champ in another organization, you can't call for a mandatory in another organization. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and why would you if you got an opportunity to take a title from Little Phil Collins? Yeah. Come on, guys. Susu Studio. Let's go. Vaughn.
You said Shakur. You mean you're talking about
No. I'm sorry, Keyshawn. WBO.
Keyshawn. Oh, well, why didn't he? Because Baranchek was basically on your top rank because they had options on him from his previous fight.
Navarrete. There it is, guys.
Yeah.
There it is. Business end of it. Technique says, I'm going to glaze Rick right now. Kid Austin, whoop Shakur.
What?
Well, listen, I hope he does. I'm a Golden Boy guy through and throughout, so I hope he does. But I just don't see it in reality.
And Iceman says, Shakur going to be Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. Oh, Chingao. And guys, we want to give a big shout out to my brother, Thomas Triber, Double T in Saudi Arabia already. Says, greetings from Riyadh.
What's
the
up,
voice of Riyadh.
Good man.
Season.
Thomas is a good man.
Indeed. We love Thomas on this show, brother. God bless you, my friend. And we look forward to all of the coverage this week. Double T. Hopefully we'll be doing a live show with Double T later this week, if his schedule permits. And Daisy Sanchez says, what about the Benavides, the new superstar? Rick, the new superstar that only did 70,000 pay-per-view purchases?
Not even 70. But in truth, he just is not an attraction. It's maybe because he doesn't speak Spanish. They look at him as half Ecuadorian. I don't know what the fuck they think of him, but it ain't good.
Yes,
Oh, man, we're blowing through this. And can you believe we're already 22 minutes in? Let's go ahead and oh, Chingao. Kaboomerang, welcome to the show, sir. Good to see you on the chat. He said, Baturviev won on one leg. Now the left knee is fully healthy. Baturviev KOs Bivol inside.
He's got to start earlier. He started too late the last time to try to grind him down. He's got to start much earlier, Baturviev. He's not a fast starter, so I don't know about that.
Well, I tell you what, we've got a couple more questions here before we do another Twitter watch. And Iceman says, Rick, is the Clarissa Shields debacle a sensitive subject?
Not for me, it's not. I worded it properly. I said reputedly and rumored, and she went wild. Well, I didn't make it as a statement.
Wait, what happened?
It was. I put out a tweet that reputedly she failed a drug test, and it's rumored to be PEDs, and it turned out to be marijuana. She was on suspension. Okay, so I was correct, and I put rumored, reputedly and rumored. So she said she's going to sue me. Well, first of all, a public figure can't sue somebody unless they're a journalist, like Donald Trump sued Sinopolis and ABC. You could do. I'm not a journalist.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a public figure. She can't sue.
Well, and anyway, man, it's like, who cares? Clarissa
Right.
Shields, she couldn't sell out
She's
my
a
living.
She's a WC. Who cares?
Woo, I love it. And Bruce, yes, boxing doesn't more.
She's complaining about me. She lives in Flint. That should be a complaint right there. You know what I mean?
Oh, Chingao. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Review, welcome to the show, sir. He says, Rick, nobody is talking about this, but Virgil looks healthy cutting weight. That can be the difference in a fight struggled for in the past. Yeah. Does Virgil pull off the upset this weekend, sir?
I didn't know he was an underdog. Is he an underdog?
Slightly. I think it's almost even money. I don't know what the odds are.
I like Virgil to win. I think he's a better puncher. I think he'll fight smarter than he did against Bochuk. And I think he'll get it. He's learned to get out of the way. Heavy artillery's coming.
Wow, I tell you what, guys, I don't know also if Madrimov, guys, look at the deceptively crafty and intelligent lead hand of Virgil Ortiz, and that's going to set up that beautiful, straight, quick right hand. I don't think Izzy is going to see what's coming. I don't think he has a defense for that beautiful straight right hand. Very sneaky quick. And I think Virgil Ortiz stops him in the mid to late. That's what I think.
Remember, Virgil Ortiz is looking at a big advantage in this fight. And the big advantage is he saw Crawford, he saw Madrov fight Crawford. Remember, Crawford didn't really see much of Madrov. He didn't know how good or bad he was.
Yeah.
And it was hard to prepare. Now he can prepare because he saw him fight a good fighter.
And there it is. There it is. I tell you what, Khalid, welcome to the show, sir. It says, ask Rick if he thought Barbosa would beat Catterall. I'm surprised.
Yeah, somebody already thanked me. Somebody already said congratulations earlier in the show. I called it. Yes, 100%.
Rick, how did you call that fight? How did you know? Or how did you have the hunch or the feeling that?
Well, I knew Gustavo Oliveri, the president of WBO, was going to be fair with the officials, would appoint two high qualified neutral officials that were truly neutral, that wouldn't fall into the clutches of Eddie Hearn by buying him a lobster or steak, one of those deals. Okay. And I'm just being sarcastic, but that's, I'm being sarcastic, but the truth is he didn't go in for those judges, didn't go in for the crowd noise. I knew that they were professional. And I said to myself, this kid is going to win this fight because I thought he was a better fighter with a better style, tall, long arms. One thing about Arnold is that everybody never saw it, Arnold, and I always saw it in Arnold. Nobody ever agreed with me. He's got a very high ring IQ, very high, and judges range and distance. Not as good as Crawford, not as good as Bam Rodriguez, and not as good as Oscar Collazo, but for the next level, his ring IQ is as good as anybody's. That judging that range and distance, and I just felt that. He's got long arms. He's tall. He's got a tight defense. And he's a complete fighter. He's not a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. But he's a complete fighter that doesn't have shortcomings.
Well, I tell you what. He obviously is not fond of taking the lead. Neither is Jack Catterall. And I tell you what.
No, it was boring. It was boring.
It was a snoozer. Styles make fights. Yeah. But I tell you what, though. My question for you is, Rick. In the final 2 minutes, does Barbosa finally get that Teofimo Lopez fight or no? Because that's a horrific style matchup for Teofimo.
I think Teofimo vacates, and he probably either beats maybe he beats Richardson Hitchens if they fight, and then he'll have the IBF title, give up the BO maybe, or maybe he moves up to 147 and goes after the 147 WBO belt. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to fight. I don't think he's going to fight Arnold. Arnold can beat him.
Yep, I agree. It's a horrific style matchup. Okay, what's the worst style matchup for Teofimo? Richardson Hitchens or Arnold Barbosa? Very similar.
I think more Arnold because Arnold's got a higher ring IQ.
Very good. Very good. Last comment for Rick and Daisy. Once again, thank you for supporting Rick on this day. Says, Rick, who do you think is the potential face of boxing after Canelo leaves? Well, oh boy, Rick, that's a tough one.
I don't see anybody who right now I would call the face of boxing for sure, but I would say Keyshawn, now that he's got his hair cut. By the way, he got his hair cut because of me. You know that, don't you? Know? Did you see that tweet the other day I put up on Twitter?
Tell that story. Tell that story.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so his manager is a very good friend of mine. Okay, his manager Ish Hinson, who's a Crawford's guy too, is a very good friend of mine. And I told him when he called, and he stuck the phone in the air. He says, "Keyshawn, listen to this," and I put it up on Twitter even, and tagged him and stuff like that. And Ish said, he says, "You're not wrong. Rick's married to a black woman, and she thinks you need a haircut." He tried to say I was an old white fart, I'm married to a gorgeous black woman, and she said you need a haircut. So You got a haircut. And
There it is. There it
now
is.
he's
He
got
got
to
the
change
lock.
that. Now he's got to change that nickname. He calls himself the businessman. I told him, but he's been called that since he was a kid. But I think he needs to call himself something else beside the businessman. I
Well,
Do you
I'll
think
have
tell
that's
you what.
recommendations for any names or no?
I'll tell you what.
I said the champ, DA champ, the champ.
Well, I tell you what. That's better than the businessman.
Oh,
Chinga.
please.
I think I like Baranchik's or Tiafimo's suggestion better. The businesswoman.
Yeah.
Chinga. But I tell you what, Rick, we're already 30 minutes gone with real Rick Glaser. Rick, your parting shots for our listening audience. We know you have some errands to run.
Partying shots tonight. Who can I take a shot at? Keith
Yeah.
Ike, Lou DiBella, Al Heyman. I don't know. I don't have enough time to take a shot at everybody.
Well, I tell you what, we know you'd like to take a shot at Joe Biden, but that would be redundant. I think God already beat us to it. Oh, well, I tell you what, your quick prediction for this main event this Saturday from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, sir.
I think Baturbiev wins another decision. I
Nice.
really do. I think he's going to
Wow.
start out cool, a little quicker and stuff like that. I just do. I'm going to tell you a real quick story. A guy died today that I've known since I was a little kid. His name was Vincent Cristiano. He was 92 years old. He would have been 93 coming up here in the fall, but he passed away today in his sleep. And a really good story was that he owned a collision shop, and he used to give people the riot act years ago. Guy used to come in, and an Asian guy with his car. I don't work on an Asian's cars. He says it's not an Asian car. I said no. I said Asian's car, an Asian's car. There
I
you
tell
go.
you what, Rick, God bless you, my friend. Always great to talk to you. I'll call you later, my friend. Great job
Thank
tonight.
you.
Thank
Thank
you, my
you.
friend.
Bye bye, guys. Thank you. See you, Adam. Bye bye now.
That was good.
That was real Rick Glazer for
Yo,
the
he was on fire tonight.
Yep, for the fastest 30 minutes you will see
That
from
is
Boxing Talk on the internet. And there it is. There it is. Adam, my man, how was your Valentine's Day, brother?
it was good. You know, we celebrated Valentine's Day on Sunday, not Friday. I think we went out to eat on Valentine's Day, but we didn't do anything like. Or no. I did your recommendation. Made steaks at the house, and then we went to go have steaks on Sunday. So
And there it is. There it is.
there it is.
And dude, you picked one hell of a Valentine's movie to watch, and that's former. That's Oscar, the only, and is a bit of trivia for you guys, for you movie buffs. I know, Bruce, you are one. The only rated X movie ever to win Best Picture, and that's A Midnight Cowboy. Brother, that's not a feel-good romp. That's not a Valentine's movie. What
Bro,
possessed you?
I had my dad my dad was always make us watch like adult movies, not like rated X movie, but like that. But I mean like movies that he was never the guy that was like, okay, we're gonna go watch The Incredibles because you guys are kids and you should be watching kids movies. My dad was like, no, we're gonna watch Scarface because it's a good movie and I want to watch it. So we would watch all the movies that he wanted to watch. And so we were like 12, 13 years old, or like I was probably like maybe 9, and my sister's like 11. And he's like, we're going to watch Midnight Cowboy. It's with John Voight and Dustin Hoffman. It's a great movie. And so we watch it and we get like what it is. It's a guy that wants to become a gigolo in New York. And he meets Ratso, Dustin Hoffman, who's just like fucking
A grifter.
loser. Yeah, he's a vagrant loser, and they just have to like coexist, and they have to learn to live and learn to get by. And then when you watch it as an adult, you're just like, holy fuck, dude! There's a reason why he wanted to be a gigolo. A bunch of bad shit happened to him, like Joe Buck. That's the guy. The name, not the greatest
Yep.
MLB announcer ever. Joe Buck is John Voight, and just a bunch of crazy shit happens to him and happens, and that's how he become. That's how you get the dream of becoming a gigolo, is that you get abandoned by your mom.
Can you
Some
hear
old
me?
lady some old lady raises you and then sexually molests you as a kid, and you think that's your grandma. And it's a crazy fucking movie when you think about it and you actually realize, you're like, what the fuck did I just? I didn't even know I watched that as like a 11-year-old kid. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, that's not a feel good romp, like I said, and that's definitely not one you pick out for Valentine's Day, brother. I tell
It's
you
not.
what, but it's boy, it's an amazing movie, amazing work of art, guys, and that's back when movies were still movies, and
Yes.
that just tells the tale of the decline of Western civilization, and the director saw that coming, and look where we are today. So Joe Buck represents the old traditional America. That's why he's dressed like a cowboy. And he is corrupted by, well, the bright lights in the big city.
Yep.
And there it is,
Life in the big.
foreshadowing of an ominous sign of things to come. That's life in the big city, baby.
Life
But
in
I
the
tell you
big.
what, that's why it's such a brilliant movie, even today. But it's still not one that you watch on Valentine's Day, brother. So
Yeah.
let's get back to this. Are you ready, Adam?
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
All right, brother. Number 2, fact or fiction. Richardson Hitchens is correct when he states, man, a fight on Alcatraz with Tefimo doesn't make any sense. It belongs in New York City. Fact or fiction?
Uh, Fiction. You know where it actually belongs? It doesn't belong on Epstein. I mean, it doesn't belong on Alcatraz. It belongs on Epstein's Island. I would be way
Oh,
more interesting if it's on Epstein's Island. Let's be honest. Um, but no, I agree with Richards and Hitchin. The fight probably does belong in New York, but dude, come on, let's have a weird card. Let's have a weird location. Let's have Alcatraz Island. Let's see what it's like. I mean, there used to be fights at the Playboy Mansion. No one had no fucking. That's almost like Epstein Island, the Playboy Mansion. So I mean,
oh, dude.
you
Except
ever
the
heard the
women.
you ever heard the
Go ahead.
conspiracy theory about Hugh Hefner?
Oh, gosh. Which one?
About, I guess, that he was the original Epstein. He was the original guy that would blackmail celebrities and when they were doing crazy shit at the Playboy Mansion.
Well, that would make a lot of sense. But
Yeah,
I
it
tell you
does.
what, so he's the old white P. Diddy, is what you're saying.
Yes, 1,000%.
Oh, ching out. I
I
tell you
agree with
what.
Adam. I agree with Adam. Alcatraz is a cool idea. I like that. I like that.
You know what? And look, I'll say this. I'll say this. Richards and Hitchens, it does make sense if you're a ticket seller, but you're not. You couldn't
Yeah,
sell out my living room on a
yeah,
Saturday night.
a thousand
So
percent. Yeah. If
what you get,
Richardson, yeah,
is what anyone wants to give your non-ticket selling ass. And
yeah,
that's it. So shut your mouth and be happy for what you get. Because what you don't do is put asses in seats. And you put everyone to sleep who tunes in to watch. So you're lucky to be getting this opportunity if it happens. So shut your mouth and learn how to sell some tickets before you start crying like a big entitled baby. Ching, yeah, I'm tired of these fighters from the American market. And then they
yeah,
wonder why everything is going overseas. Man, they're just as bad as the fans. And there it
yeah.
is. And there it is. Number 3, Adam. Fact or fiction, brother. Viterviev will get outpointed this weekend in Saudi Arabia, forcing a rubber match later this year with Dimitri Bivol, leaving David Benavidez once again out in the cold without an opponent. Fact or fiction?
I think fiction. I agree with Rick. I think Better Beef gets the win.
You know what,
I
brother? I have a sneaky feeling Bivol tries to be bold once again and gets KTFO'd within the distance this time. I think he
yeah.
plays with fire. I think
I
he watched that fight and is like, you know what? I should have stayed in the pocket. And he's going to be quickly reminded of this
mhm.
when he tastes that. power once again. Beterbiev, guys, he has sick power. And in case you forgot, go look up that interview with Lonnie B, Lionel Thompson, right? Great guy. He sparred with good friend of John Scully. And that's the assistant trainer of Arthur Beterbiev. And he promised he'll be coming on the show when he gets back. And he stated, Lonnie B said, you know what? I was hit by a car when I was only 10 years old. And after sparring Beterbiev, honestly, I'd rather be hit by the car again. That's a true story, guys. Once again, that power is no joke. Adam, what's the hardest you were ever hit in sparring or in the ring?
Hardest I ever been hit, I would have to say, fuck. There's a lot of guys that I've been hit by as of recent. Reese Halim, I think, would probably the hardest professional I've ever been hit by. So I thought that was the hardest I've ever been hit by a pro in any of my pro fights. But overall, I would say hands down Jonathan Gonzalez from Puerto Rico.
Ooh. Yeah, man, Jonathan Gonzalez, John, Jonathan Gonzalez.
Yeah,
boy,
he became a world champion at 108. He was going through a little slump, and when he turned pro, he well, actually, he didn't go through a slump, but he was like fast rising. Fought Giovanni Segura. Segura knocked him out in a really bad knockout, and then
I remember that.
He had to come back. He made a comeback. He was going through a bad part of his career. He wasn't getting any fights, and then somebody took a chance on him. He won. He kept on winning. Got a title shot. Won the title. Became a world champion. And then I don't know what's happened so far, but I mean, he had a very good career. He's had a very good career. But he was overall the hardest guy that had ever been. I got hit by him in the World Championships in Guadalajara, Mexico, as an amateur. We had fought him in the semifinals, the bronze medal match, and he hit me with the right hook. And I remember when I got hit, I literally said, "Whoa!" Like it was like it was like in who was the guy, Curtis Stevens, when Triple G knocks him down, and he goes, "Whoa!" He fucking he literally goes like, "Oh fuck! I just got hit." That was like that. I did the exact same thing when fucking Jonathan Gonzalez hit me. I was like,
yeah, I'd like to see how hard Babe Lopez hit you when you pulled out Midnight Cowboy. Chingao. Number 4. Oh, let's stay on this. Because, dude, what?
Oh, you broke up. I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Sorry about that, guys. And look, as early as round 1, he was cutting off the ring and closing the distance, finding range already. Is this going to be another problem in the second fight? What does Dimitri Bivol do to win this? And can he win by knockout?
I mean, we never seen this guy fucking hurt. We never seen Bivol hurt at all. So, I mean, I don't know if he can hurt him. I mean, he probably can, but I mean, fuck, we haven't seen it. So, I mean, he's just got to be a little bit more aggressive and more assertive.
Yeah, you know what?
A little bit more ballsy.
Once again, though, man, I know the old adage is no guts, no glory. But, man, you run the risk of looking up at the lights early and going night-night.
Yeah.
Like, once again, Beterbiev's power is no joke, guys. Bivol, the first time, he was not successful, but he fought a very, very impressive fight. And honestly, I don't see how he wins this unless he knocks him out. Because that power is going to... Once again, Beterbiev is one of those guys that carries his power in the late rounds. So do you try to overwhelm him and get him out early? Prove that he's a young 40-year-old fighter? Because keep in mind, guys, he's 40 years old. Do you put your foot on the gas and try to get him out of there early? Because we've seen Arthur Beterbiev hurt, but he's in such great shape He has such great recovery powers. Adam, I don't know if Dimitri Bivol can win this fight unless he goes for broke and tries to get him out of there early.
I mean, yeah, I think. So you're saying you think Bivol, the only way that Bivol can win is try to get him out early?
Because yeah, I unless he fights the perfect fight, like geez, let's say like Rayo Valenzuela versus Pitbull Cruz, but once again, Baturbiev is on a completely different level, and I don't think that's possible. I don't think you can stay away from this guy for 12 rounds.
Yeah, you brought up a really good point. When you go, the longer it goes, the more Baturbev's chances of winning go up. I feel.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. And Alberto says, Joe, you calling the fights this Saturday? I'm going to do the marathon, brother, and I'm going to call every single fight this Saturday, and it's going to be a marathon. So, guys, I hope you can join me. And I know Adam's going to probably join me in the late part for the co-main event and the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But, guys, I'm going to be there for the long haul. We are looking at a marathon for at least 5 or 6 hours. So, guys, please join me. I hope you can. Thank you for the question, Alberto. We appreciate it. Let's go. We only have about 13 minutes left with Adam Lopez, unless you want to do an extended period. Adam, it's up to you, my friend. Let's cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Number 4, fact or fiction, brother. Crawford's added weight will be a detriment in his fight against Canelo later this year. He posted on his social media that he was already 186, and he looks like he's added some bulk. Is this a good or bad idea in your expert opinion, Adam?
I mean, does he look fat or does he just look a little bit more muscular?
No, he looks bigger. He looks like he's got muscle.
No, I don't think it should be that big of a fucking deal. I mean, he's it's been a couple years since he's fought in fucking Spence, and he already knew the only fight that makes sense is oh, actually, no, he fought fucking Madrimov at 54. Anyways, but that was last year too, right? Yeah, so it doesn't fucking matter. I think he's doing the smart thing. He's gaining some muscle. It's gonna take some time. He's doing it slowly, but I think it's not gonna hurt him that much. I think he should be fine.
I'll tell you why I think it's going to be a huge detriment, my friend.
Say it.
What are you hoping to get the better of Canelo on the inside? Dude,
No, I think
all it's gonna do is decrease your speed and agility when you're putting bulk on. And you know this, Adam. And honestly, what does he think he's going to get the better of Canelo on the inside? The best combination puncher in boxing, the most creative combination puncher in boxing? And let's just face it, that's Crawford's only chink in the armor, is in the pocket. Is he a damn fool?
I mean, I don't know, because Crawford is a very, very physical guy. Still, even though he might not be better on the inside, more creative on the inside, he's still a very physical guy. And if when push comes to shove, he might need the fucking weight to fucking at least be in there with Canelo. So
Yep.
I mean, we have to look at it that way too. At least it's like the whole fucking handgun. That same with the handgun. It's like, well, I carry this. What do you call it? I carry the gun. It's better that I carry it, and I'm fucking up this whole goddamn saying, dude. And what is it? It's better to like carry it and not need it, correct? Than to need it, have it. Yeah, there you go.
Well, look, man, and
I get paid.
okay, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Look. I agree, Adam Hurley. His power is definitely underrated, but you guys get the wrong idea. He's got sneaky power. He catches you with shots you don't see. Those are the ones that hurt the most. Adam Hurley also brings up Adam. There's a fighter that you fought, looks good and still only has one loss. He lost to you. I think his name was hold on. Jordan White is his name. 18-1.
He's thinking of the other Adam Lopez.
Oh, you're thinking of Blue Note or
Yes.
Blue Nose, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
I
someone
was
in his
never,
family.
yeah,
What?
I was never a fan of his nickname, Blue Nose.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where he got it. I'm a jazz fan, and
He's
I
a
play music,
pit bull.
and so I'm thinking the Blue Note. Is that where he got it from?
Blue Nose is a type of pit bull.
Really?
Yes.
See, I didn't know that. I'm not a huge dog fan. I had no idea. Blue Nose. Oh,
Yep.
Chingo. Why don't you just call himself the pit bull then? Chingao. Blue
Oh, it's a very
Nose.
specific type of fucking pit bull, right?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So there it is. You learn something new every day, gang. So let's go to number 5. Keyshawn Davis versus Gervonta Davis will indeed happen in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia during the final quarter of 2025. Fact or fiction, my friend?
I don't know. Fucking Rick brought up a lot of good fucking points, and he's very good in his argument. I think it doesn't happen. No.
Well, I tell you what, I don't think it's either Gervonta Tank Davis is going to have to retire or he's going to have to fight either Keyshawn or Shakur. Take a pick because I don't think he's going to have a choice. PBC is going to be OOB out of business after May or June. That's what I think.
It's kind of sad, right? Fucking PBC did give us good fights.
It's very sad. Yeah.
In the early 2010s, fucking PBC gave us some really good fucking fights. 2013, I will go down saying 2013 was probably one of the best years in boxing. 2013, 2014.
Oh, yeah. You know what? 2023 was excellent on Showtime for BBC as well. And it's just amazing. I don't know why. And to be honest with you, Adam, I think that's one of the gayest things I've ever seen from boxing fans. And you guys, if you chose sides, and I know no one on this chat would do that, but if you guys were gay enough to choose sides and favor one promoter over the other, well, then you deserve every single event going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia from this point forward. Yeah. You deserve it because you guys are downright gay and not real boxing fans. Dude, what has to happen to a boxing fan where he chooses one promoter over the other and hopes for the demise of an entire platform going under?
Well, I think that's just based off the internet, fans, and then there's also I guess racial undertones too when it comes to PBC. And
like I said, gay.
Yeah, that's where I think that's where it starts from, because it's like, okay, well, you're on his side. You want PBC to succeed, and because Al Heyman's black, it's like, okay, but I mean, it's good for the sport. I want PBC fighters to fight top ranked fighters, but I don't really care. I just want to see the best fights. And most of my friends are with PBC. I tried to get with PBC when I was a free agent. And because they were putting all the good fights. They were doing their shit. They was doing a lot of good things. And I never got that too. I never got where it's you gotta like put pom poms for a certain promoter. It's almost like a gang. It's kind of stupid.
Well, no, not kind of stupid. It's very stupid.
Yeah,
and kind of gay. That's what that is. Yeah, I said it. There, I said it. And look, guys. Let's move on. Number 6. Oh boy. Virgil Ortiz will shock the world and stop Izzy Madrimov in the mid to late rounds. Fact or fiction?
I think fact. I think he.
You know what?
I think he stops.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah, I don't think that he'll be able to, once again, guys. Virgil Ortiz, if you haven't already noticed, has a very intelligent jab. When you're not pushing the tempo like Sergey Boachuk, and if you let him dictate the pace of the fight, yeah, his jab, just ask Igas Kavalyaskes how crafty and how intelligent his jab is. And with that jab, he's going to be so preoccupied, he's never going to see that sneaky right hand coming. I don't think he wins. I think he gets caught in the mid to late rounds. And I think we see Yeah, we get a very, very nice setup for Virgil Ortiz, Sergey Boachuk later this year, the rematch. Woo!
There it is.
Tell you what, go ahead. And there it is. There it is. Number 7, Adam. Danny
Yep.
Dubois will get outpointed by way of another underwhelming performance by Joseph Parker, doing
I
his
think
best
fact.
version of Shakur Stevenson.
Fact. This guy, we've already said it multiple times, biggest overachiever in boxing. I think he fucking does it again, and he overachieves. I think so.
Oh gosh, I hope not, man. Because guys, the heavyweights,
he is so bad for the fucking sport, Joseph
no,
Parker.
he is. He's not a ticket seller, and he
He's-
puts your ass to sleep.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'd rather see at this point. I'd rather see Joshua versus Chisora. That's what I'd rather see. And I'd rather see.
Always finds a fucking way to win. Joseph Parker.
And I know these guys are one shot and one can't fight. I think I'd rather see Wilder versus Ngannou.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I said it.
That's not a bad fight though. Wilder versus Ngannou. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let's see who lands the first big punch, and that's all it's gonna do. That's all it's gonna take. I don't even know. I honestly don't know if Wilder can throw a punch still, though. To be honest,
yeah,
he couldn't. He couldn't even.
In the immortal words of Emmanuel Stewart, man, he's got no legs underneath him. He looks like a shot fighter.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
Yeah. Outlaw, welcome to the show, sir. It's good to see you, my friend. Virgil, by decision, that very may happen as well. Adam Hurley says, I have Virgil too, but I do think Madrimov is a very good fighter, but Virgil's even better. Indeed, that's why we love this.
I got to agree with
Madrimov is a world-class guy, deep amateur pedigree, former champion, and you know what? He was an enigma for Terrence Crawford, but once again, styles make fights. If you've got that intelligent lead hand, mixing in strange intervals, mixing touch jabs, hard stab jabs to the body, chest, and feints, it disrupts the timing and rhythm of a prolific counterpuncher like Madrimov, and he's never seen that. He's never seen that in his professional career. Adam, how difficult is it to time and counter a guy? And I know that you know this firsthand. Time and counter a guy who has a really intelligent lead hand.
It's very, very hard because it's especially hard if they put it in different paces, throw different types of jabs. It's really fucking hard because you're trying to counter off them, but trying to counter off a guy with a good lead hand is very, very hard because, I mean, it's coming at you when you're trying to set something up. They know you're trying to set something up, and then they just flick it out there and hit you. And then it just fucks everything up. The timing of it, the rhythm is just disrupted by a guy with a good jab.
That's it. And that's why Canelo has so much trouble with a guy who has a great lead hand. Mm-hmm. That's why he lost to Bivol. That's why he lost to Golovkin. Yes, I said it. And let's just face it, guys. That is your secret weapon against any prolific counterpuncher. Madrimov is going to be, it's going to freeze him. He's not going to know when to let his hands go. It's going to freeze him. That's why I like Virgil Ortiz, big guys. And once again, stay tuned for our Friday show with Adam Lopez, featuring Adam Lopez. And that's when we're going to reveal our War a Week Boxing Sexy Bets of the Week. And there it is. There it is. Los, welcome to the show, sir. Good to see you, man. Pay-per-view for Davis versus Roach. Who's even on the undercard? We don't know and we don't care. Like, honestly, how do you promote and sell a fight that no one wants to see, priced at $80 after seeing this on Saturday for $25?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who is on the
out? I don't know and I don't care. I think I think one of the Charlos is on there, right? Let me look this up. That's a very good question. Hold on. Jeez, I have no idea. Let's take a look. Hold on, guys. Let's look at box
A little-
rec right now. Hold on, brother. Let's see. Hold on. There's a little Rayo Valenzuela versus Gary Antoine Russell in the co-main event. Ooh, gosh. Does Al Heyman not like Rayo Valenzuela or something?
Yeah.
Because that is the worst possible fight that he could put him in.
Really think?
I know so. Dude, Rayo's going to get smashed. Unlike Pitbull Cruz, he has no problem cutting off the ring and closing the distance. Dude, he's going to get smashed. He's going to get knocked the F out. Gary Antoine Russell, they could basically hand him the title. And then oh my gosh. Now, this is the early candidate for worst fight and worst matchup stylistically of the year. Okay. And why is this on pay-per-view? And it's going to be for the WBC 140-pound title, vacant. Okay. Vacated by Devin Haney. Alberto Puello versus Sandor Martin.
Oh, wow.
That's going to make Arnold Barboza versus Jack Catterall look like Gaddy Ward 1, 2, and 3.
That's a really fucking bad fucking matchup. But didn't Russell?
Dude, you can't make this shit up.
Didn't Russell
on pay-per-view? Yep. Alberto Puello versus Sandor Martin.
That's such a fucking dumbass fight, dude. Whatever.
Yep. That's terrible. But to open the pay-per-view bout, I'm really looking forward to this. Yoenis Diaz, who looks razor sharp in the gym right now.
Okay.
Against J-Rock Julian Williams.
What? He's coming back?
Yep. And at 154.
I just want to see J-Rock again. J-Rock was good for boxing.
He was. He's a good guy, and I really like him, and I really like his trainer. He's a good kid. Yeah. But he's a testament to never get too high on a prospect until you see how well he takes a good punch.
Yeah, but he did become unified. He did become unified. So
yeah, and then he lost to Banana Rosario.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I tell you what, that performance against Jared Hurd, or what's his name?
Yeah, Hurd? Jared Hurd.
Okay, sorry, I get mixed up with him and the quarterback for the Eagles. That's Jalen, right? Okay. Yeah, dude, I mean, his performance against Jared Hurd was outstanding.
Yeah. I love fucking Jared.
Yeah, that was his peak.
On fire to watch. And then after that fight, Jared Hurd was never really the same after he fought Brock. That was not good.
Well, I tell you what, in the immortal words of the great Eddie Futch, if you fight like Jared Hurd, you're going to have a short but glorious career. And that he did. Well, I tell you what, Heido says, welcome to the show, Heido. Let's see if we can get your post up here. Can you see it, Adam? Because my computer is running a little sketchy right now.
I
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did Adam ever try to fight?
There it is. There it is. It says different weight division, guys.
Yeah. No, because we never tried to fight because I was at 122. He was at 126. But then also when he started, when I was kind of like, I was fighting for title eliminators and on TV a lot, he just started turning pro. And he had a couple good fought Stephen Fulton in a Fox fight.
Yep.
And he did really, really good. He hurt Stephen Fulton.
Yep.
And then what do you call it? Then I started getting I wasn't fighting on Showtime that much. He was always an opponent. And then he had that one big fight with Oscar and got that one good fight. And then guess what? He got signed with Top Rank. Top Rank used him a bunch of times. He got a bunch of good paydays, but then I was already retired by that time. I had always talked to him. Me and him talked like periodically. Because of that. Because I guess every time when I was fighting or when he was fighting, people would always tag me thinking that I was him because it's not one thing to like to be named Adam Lopez. You kind of have to look like me also, and that he does. So, kind so we do kind of look alike, and then also we have the same name, and so we always kind of used to talk all the time. But there's no reason.
Yeah. Did you say, hey, dude, did you say, dude, hey, man, I've got the better nickname by far?
Yeah, I said it. My fans yours doesn't so much. But I mean,
That's why
if
I
I
get paid
did,
the big.
if we ever did fight, I'm sure Adam Lopez would win. And Adam Lopez would win that fight.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Adam Hurley says, isn't Breadman Edwards Julian Williams' trainer? Yes, he is. Great guy. Great guy. Um, doesn't have the greatest sense of humor, but a great guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't say that. Did I say that on the air?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about it after off the air, my friend. I'm not going to just cast aspersions on the air about a good man like Stephen Edwards. He's an excellent mentor. Yeah, and he's very good for the sport. J Rock dying on the vine of PVC. What do you mean dying?
It's dead.
Yeah. Refugio says Breadman is in fact his trainer. No, he didn't. He's still his trainer. Super Mario, welcome to the show, sir. Salute from Birmingham, UK. I'll tell you what, I am really jealous because honestly, Adam, we talked about this and we know you have to go, but are you really looking forward to seeing these great fights during the day?
Not at all.
No. I want a couple shots of Jaeger or some sweet amber.
Yes.
And you know what? I can tell you honestly, I'm not too fond of that.
I'm not fond either.
Once again, boxing after dark.
Yes.
That was a thing, boxing after dark, because it's much better looking at chingazos after dark with some social lubricant in you. Come on now.
Yes. I've said it many times on the show, and I've told you many times. I am though a huge fan of 6 a.m. fights in Japan.
Yeah.
That's so much fun in the mornings.
Oh, dude, with your cup of coffee,
dude. Yes.
Ching out.
I think the only beverage you can have in a fight is a beer. No. A nice cup of Java, nice cup of mud goes fucking. It's chef kiss in the morning to watch that fights and have some coffee. Fucking underrated. You guys really need to try it. Be underrated.
And there it is, brother. And the last fact or fiction of the no, I think that was it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've got one more. No, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it for fact or fiction today, brother. So I tell you what, your parting shots and your final predictions. Do you want to save them for Friday's show, brother?
Save them for Friday.
Talk with Thomas Driver after the weigh-in.
Yeah. Let's see what Thomas says.
Guys, we're going to be featuring Thomas this Friday after he finishes the weigh-in. Go ahead.
Thomas will give us the skinny about everything, and that's going to help with a lot of the predictions.
And there it is. There it is, brother. And I tell you what, Loss says coffee and a Pop-Tart. Look, guys, I was just educated the other day when we were on last week.
Who said it?
I had no idea that Pop-Tarts had such great flavors these days.
The cinnamon.
They've really advanced since I was a kid.
Yes.
But then again, when I was a kid, I think FDR was still president. Jeez. And so there it is. And there it is. And Adam says he's got the beat. You got to give props for the British love for boxing. Yes. Guys, if American fight fans were just as devoted and rabid and supportive unconditionally about their fighters like they are,
the Brits,
then yeah, the Brits, then you know what, guys? It would still be a thing in America. It would still be a mainstream pastime.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's such dying love for the Brits have died? Like, what do you call it? Unconditional love for boxing because they love their football, they love fucking rugby, and then the boxing. That's their top three sports, I think. And fucking no, they're not cricket. They don't play cricket, right? They're not gay.
Cricket's a big sport in Britain, dude. Stop
Really?
it. Yeah, look, dude. Honestly, I can tell you honestly, because American sports fans are well, I shouldn't say sports fans. They're great with the NFL, MLB, NBA, but boxing fans in America, somewhere along the way, they tricked themselves into thinking them being overtly negative constantly was a more enlightened and insightful and intelligent way to be. But quite the contrary.
Yeah.
If you're complaining about all of this shit in a pastime, once again, guys, we're not passing a bill in Congress. This is a pastime, and you guys still find reasons to complain about it. Well, then guess what? What you get is what you give. And everything is going overseas now. I hope you're happy. Outlaw says, Jojo, what do you make of Pacheco signing with GBP and not Matchroom? Well, look, I'll say this. Matchroom, they may inflate some of their fighters' purses, like guys who aren't ticket sellers, like Jerron Boots Ennis, Shakur Stevenson. But come on, have they ever shown an ability to create attractions here in the American market?
Yeah, no, they haven't.
No, they haven't. And so if you're looking to cash in and sitting dormant on the shelf, being stuck in shit matchups in strange locations, not in your hometown, well, then, yeah, sign with Matchroom. But if you want to actually if you have hopes of becoming a big attraction and ticket seller, then, yeah, you sign with Golden Boy Promotions. Is it true Golden Boy staff are all Mexican? No, that's not true. Guys, look, first of all, I don't know who brought that up. Like, have you ever heard that Golden Boy staff is all Mexicano?
No, not really.
Richard Schaefer was from Switzerland.
Yeah, Richard Schaefer's from Switzerland.
Don Chargan is anything but, or was anything but. God rest his soul.
Rick's pretty white. He's pretty white.
Yeah, Rick Glaser, the guy we just talked to.
Yeah.
Chingao.
Yeah.
He's like, who said that? Oh, Chihuahua.
The guy that sounds like you says there needs to be go back to the same day weigh-in and $1 million fighter needs to be more active. That is kind of true. Yeah.
And there it is.
Brown.
Toby Bartlett, welcome to the show, sir. Oh, and darts is a very popular. You know, I'll say, last time I did a show at a club, I really enjoyed the dart tournament that was going on between sets.
Yes.
Darts That's a lot of fun. Dude.
Underrated, yes.
Yep, and plus, dude, hearing the shit talk, man, while they're actually trying. Is that bad? Is that like not dart etiquette, Toby? Is that like talking in someone's backswing in golf? When you talk shit to the guy who's trying to aim in darts? I don't know, but I tell you what, I was really enjoying it. Last gig I played, we there was a dart tournament going on, and it was packed, and I really enjoyed getting into it, and yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but I can't see how that would be enjoyable on TV, Adam.
Yeah, because if they're not mic'd up and you can't hear the shit talk, then like, what is it? Because like in the World Series of Poker, you can hear the shit talk and it's pretty good, and you actually don't like the guys. I feel like it would need to be the same for darts too.
Here, look. What U.S. fighter can we get behind? There aren't any. Well, look, I will tell you this, guys. Full steam ahead. I am on the Ryan Garcia bandwagon. Get as loony as you want to be, because he is going to be our last big ticket seller in the American market. There, I said it. And look, guys, there is every reason to be excited about Keyshawn Davis. He is the truth, man. In fact, I think he needs to adopt that moniker. And guys, what do you think Keyshawn Davis should call himself from this point forward? Because I don't think the businessman is going to stick.
I don't think so either.
I think we should say Truth. Troof.
That's
Truth.
better, the truth. Because I mean, yeah. If you heard of the card, have you heard of like there's gonna be another like bubble, housing bubble? Have you looked into this at all? I feel like businessman wouldn't be a good moniker to have if there was like another economic crash.
Well, look, I don't want to talk about that because then now we're getting into prophecy.
Yes.
You already know, Adam. You already know what I told you a long time ago. And this was last summer, what's coming this year. But don't worry, guys. You guys have until the winter months, but you will start to see a decline in Vegas, in the stands, at these sporting events. You'll start to see it as early as May, guys. You'll start to see as early as May. Okay? And Sylvia, look, I would love to say that that's the first time someone has told me that I sound like Steve Kim. And I'm fine with that. As long as you tell me I have much better skin and am more attractive, then I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Because let's just face it, Steve Kim, he's kind of an a-hole, and he looks like someone played golf on his face. He looks like Manuel Noriega's grandson.
But Asian.
But Asian. Yeah. There, I said it. And there it is. Peter, welcome to the show, sir. Good evening. Good evening, Joseph. I don't complain about boxing at all. I'm happy for the fights that we get because, Peter, you are on this chat. We have no titty baby pom-pom waivers on our chat. We love you guys. And I will, and once again, I'm always proud about this. You guys are the most intelligent and best fight fans that America has to offer. And I wish everyone were like Toby in America. Yeah, and he says, yep, there it is. And hold on, he says, yeah, the shit talk is really bad. For darts, I love it, man. Oh, and there's a church technician. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, it seems PBC's last show on Amazon won't be Tank versus Roach. Sebastian Fundora versus Booker on regular Prime. I'll have to see it to believe it. It hasn't happened yet. So, guys, if you see something on the PBC schedule, don't be shocked. Woo! Excuse me. If it gets scratched, and it wouldn't be the first time.
Nope.
Yep. And he says, I don't know why anyone would bitch and moan about the boxing matches we got. Look, we still had guys bitching at Showtime even after the schedule of 2023 with PBC. That's how stupid some of these fans are. Bunch of idiots. So, yeah, you know what? What you give is what you get.
Very true.
There it is. There it is. I tell you what. And Peter has the beat also. I like Keyshawn as well.
Yep.
And Refugio comes out of nowhere with, I still don't get snooker.
Yeah.
See.
Somebody's got to explain that.
And Sylvia, good to see you, sister. She says, Adam, how would you rate Angelo Leo? He was coming up in 122, and now he's champion at 26 with that inspired effort and KO of the Year candidate.
Yeah, he was. I think he was a champion at 22 also. He was I remember I had seen him before he went to Vegas. He was in Albuquerque. And I was like, damn, I wanted, like, he looks like a good opponent to fight. Then he went to Vegas and he trained at Mayweather. And then he just, like, you really, really excelled and really, really got better. You see a lot of sparring videos of him. He fought fucking MJ Akhmadaliev. He was sparring him in Vegas. And he was beating the shit out of Akhmadaliev. Angelo Leo is one of the guys that is very, very underrated. And I think he was a champion at 22. He lost to what's his face?
Stephen Fulton.
And
but
then
there really is no shame in that, guys. That was a prime.
Exactly. There's no shame, but he doesn't really get his dues, even though he had just knocked off the guy that was knocking everybody off in the deer. Luis Alberto Lopez. he knocked him out, and he still kind of doesn't get his dues of being one of the better guys at 126 and in the lighter weight classes. I mean, he's this guy's
Adam,
done.
Adam, I have to step away for a minute. Veda's calling, so keep going, my friend.
Okay, let me keep going. But yeah, anyways, Angelo Leo's one of the better guys at 126 in the and 122 in the lighter weight classes. Still, really never got like the adulation or the admiration that he should have gotten. I've always said that. Let's see. It just seems like Steve Kim has been blacklisted in media because no one cares what he has to say. Well, church technician, he's also kind of like Steve Kim's also kind of taken like the, I guess, the right wing approach. He's always been a very conservative guy, but he's also like on the, what do you call it? That, what's that show with fucking Steve Whitlock? He's the co-host sometimes in that show. So I mean, I think he kind of went past boxing and kind of went straight into politics. But I don't know. Let's see. Says,
Oh, no. You're talking about Steve Kim doing the show with Adam Whitlock. I don't even see him on there regularly any longer.
really? I fucking every time he's on Steve Whitlock. Every time I listen to Steve Whitlock, Steve Kim is always like the co-host.
Oh well, maybe so. That's how highly I think of Steve Kim and Bonson Whitlock. Yeah, I said it. There it is. Look, hold on. Outlaw says Fundora won the belts close to a year and still hasn't fought. Just squatting on the belts. Honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
I really like Sebastian Fundora, but let's just face it, guys. He can't compete with these badasses at 54 right now.
He goes, Hydo goes, Steve Kim doesn't like black people. He believed a rumor of Clarissa Shields. What was the rumor?
That she can't sell tickets. That's not just a rumor. That's a fact.
That's not a rumor. That's true.
No. I have no idea. I don't get involved with
Hydo, explain
that stuff.
what the rumor was with Clarissa Shields, because
please clarify, my friend, because we didn't hear anything, and honestly, it really doesn't matter. Yeah. It seems Steve Kim has been blacklisted in the media because no one cares what he says. Indeed. Yes, he was on the ring, but Turkey has taken pictures with the FBI most wanted, so it doesn't surprise me. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Tested positive for being a man?
Yeah. No, guys. Look.
Tested positive steroids?
No. Here it is, guys. She got high before her fight on DAZN on Groundhog's Day.
I mean,
that's what it was. She got high. She tested positive for MJ, Maui Wowie.
Who cares, dude?
Yeah. So that's all it is, guys. It wasn't PEDs.
When was the last time you got?
Huh?
When was the last time you got high?
Back when I was in high school, I never really liked it because I don't like feeling sluggish. I've always liked having my wits about me. Even alcohol doesn't really affect me, but for some reason, that always affected me. And the last time I'd ever done it was, and also I'm a singer. I depend on my voice. So
I feel like a fucking do you think a raspy voice would work? Because you'd fucking sound phenomenal if you had a raspy voice. Be like,
well, guys, look, I can do it, and it's the glottal thing. It's opera training. But that's why I can do my Al Pacino with no problem. Hey, you're a chain snatching, punk ass, monotone motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I can do that, but it's like, yeah, man. It's a difference. It's a different, like, that's a glottal thing. That's a training thing. But it makes your throat so dry. And I can't sing.
But like, what
I can't sing, I can't speak.
Like, who is
when
it? Bob
when I do that, so I just didn't even bother. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Plus, I honestly, I don't like being that sluggish. Like I said, have you ever heard me not be sharp even with alcohol? It doesn't affect me like that. I don't like. I like being sharp, guys. That's why I love coffee so much.
Yes, coffee is fucking good.
It's the universal elixir, my friend.
Top rank Golden Boy because he's friends, doesn't attend any PPC events at all. Yeah, that is very true, Sylvia. He's got a. I think
Like
he's banned.
honestly, I don't think he attends any boxing events. Period, any longer.
Really?
And as for journalism, who cares? He's writing for Snack.
Oh shit. We'll see.
He's writing for Snack. Who cares? But guys, look, we're almost 90 minutes in. And we're gonna make our prediction. Well, is there anything that you'd like to talk about that you saw this weekend in Fight Night? And obviously, there's not much to talk about as far as Barbosa and
Catterall.
Jack Catterall. We already knew what was going to happen. Nothing. That was a snooze fest.
Yes.
Terrible, terribly boring fight.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about Oscar Duarte and him looking great against a shot Miguel Madueño.
Yeah, I was about to say Oscar Duarte looked pretty good.
That was a punching bag with legs.
Yeah. He looked very good. And he called out Ryan Garcia, I think, again.
Again? Yeah, because it was the biggest highest payday today.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Look, he knocked your ass out, brother. Even showing you the butt roll defense.
Very true.
And look, like no one wants to see that. Look, honestly, dude, get that fight with Richardson Hitchens. You guys are on the same network, DAZN.
Yeah.
I would love to see Oscar Duarte against just get on that ass. Dude, I would love to see him get right in the chest of Richardson Hitchens. Oh, you've got to be kidding. No.
That's got
look, Oscar just be an Oscar. That's ridiculous. In no universe is Oscar better than Keyshawn Davis. Now, he might have said he's more entertaining, but you can't even say that really.
Yeah.
So Oscar is just being a promoter. He's promoting his guy.
Let me ask you this. Did
all these promoters. Go ahead.
Is Oscar still making his clapback Thursdays?
I'm sorry, what? You're cutting out.
Is Oscar De La Hoya still making
I thought he had one this past Thursday, didn't he?
I haven't seen anything.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let's the last one I saw, he was dogging Bill Haney.
Yeah, right.
That's it. Talking about what a terrible leader he is.
Yeah.
That was 2 Thursdays ago. I haven't seen one since, nor have I been looking really.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he needs to bring him back regardless. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, is there anything that we didn't talk about that we need to bring up today?
No, I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, look, man, I'll tell you who I feel really bad for, though. And this is the problem with having 4 titles, right? The 4 belt era. And it not being a mainstream pastime now. Because if the sport of boxing were still treated like a sport and not a business, David Benavidez, he'd probably be a much bigger attraction than he currently is.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad for him because let's just face it. It hasn't, the business of boxing hasn't been treated like a sport in a really long time. Where you actually paid attention to rankings. Adam, does anyone give 2 shits about any ranking any longer in any sanctioning organization?
No, people really don't give a fuck about belts either.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. Go ahead. Your final thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's kind of just it's not really even looked at a sport where the fans really want to see who's the top 10 and the sanctioning bodies. I think it's because it's too complicated now. There's too many sanctioning bodies. It doesn't matter like the rankings. In the UFC, they do that constantly where they'll put the rank of the guy that is fighting the champion. And they'll put maybe like 1 or 2, and guess what? The other guy gets to fight for the title next. But in boxing, it's irrelevant because there's a guy fighting a guy that's ranked number 1 in the WBA, but the guy that fucking that he's fighting is ranked number 35, but he gets the opportunity because I don't know why, but he does. Or they'll move a guy. I just watched a fucking documentary about fucking Deontay Wilder when he was fighting for the belts and how you should like people should really closely look at his career and how like he was I guess number 1 or number 2 and then all of a sudden Eric Molina who was like number 35 just started to quickly rise up in the rankings, became 16 and then all of a sudden became 7 in the WBC and then fought Eric Molina fought Deontay Wilder or some shit. It was crazy and it just proves that the rankings don't fucking matter because they can manipulate it at any time.
Yeah, look, Vaughn, and thank you for hanging with us, my friend. He said boxing has never been treated like a sport. It's been mafia run since day one. No, that when mafia had their stronghold, there was still only one belt, and it was the NBA, which is now the WBA.
That's
right. And people think that they rigged fights. No, dude, they didn't. The only thing that they did was come up with strategies to better their chances of winning. Like, well, what promoters do today. Do you know why the big attraction comes out last, even if he's not the title holder?
What is that?
Wait. Do you know why there's a red and a blue corner? So media members and judges would know who their fighter was. They came up with those things.
Okay, wait.
That's why we still use those today. Also, here's another popular one that they came up with, right?
Okay.
If you wanted to fight their guy and you were number 1 mandatory on the list, they wouldn't give you that fight because they controlled all the champions, right? And that's what their strategy was.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to fight with one of their guys, you would have to give them options on your next 3 to 5 fights. And so it didn't matter who won at that point. They owned you for the next 3 to 5 fights. The mafia, that's who came up with those strategies. Guess what, guys? We still use those same strategies today, promoters.
Okay, so remember in Raging Bull when he's like, when they're at the kitchen table and Joe Pesci's talking to Robert De Niro and he's like, okay, so guess what? You're gonna have to fight him, and you're gonna fuck this guy up, and you will have to do it with no help. No, and when he's talking about help, he's talking about fucking Frank Vincent, the mafia guy, the one in when they go into like the club and he beats the shit out of him.
Look, guys, Raging Bull, anything from Hollywood. There's a reason why everyone thinks that boxing is a shitty sport and it's rigged, and that's only because of Hollywood's depiction of it. Guys, that shit didn't happen. I mean, there are isolated incidents that are well documented, but look, the FBI have been trying to prove that boxing was a rigged sport since Don King was the biggest promoter in the world and top ranked, and you can't.
Yeah.
You can't because it's not. Okay, once again, where's the smoking gun? Look at what we're seeing being revealed in politics right now. Surely that would have been revealed in boxing if it were rigged. And so I can't stand Hollywood's depiction. Hey, look, see, we got your girlfriend, see? Champ, you're going to take a dive in the 7th round or she gets it. She's curtains. That shit never happened in real life, guys.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. I mean, if they rigged the World Series, I'm pretty sure they can rig a fight.
You're talking about how long ago was that? The Red Sox and the Black Sox.
Yeah, right? Fucking 1918, right?
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it. Yeah, my Red Legs. That was one of the championships that we won, and I'll take it.
Yeah, my 1918. But I'm saying if they could fucking the 1940s isn't that far off from 1918. So I mean, if they could do it, rig the World Series, I'm pretty sure they could rig a fight too.
Okay, brother. There are too many moving parts. Then you've got to. Okay, what are you gonna rig all the judges? You're gonna.
You just got to pay one judge.
No. Here's the reality of this. Here's the reality of this. they treated the mob, and this is true, and I learned this from Don Chargan.
Okay.
Because he was around when the Mafia had a stranglehold on the sport when it was only one belt, the NBA.
Yeah.
And he said it's a huge misconception. He can't stand it because we're still trying to shake that stench created by Hollywood and idiotic journalists who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they treated it like their casinos. Are the games rigged in Vegas? No, what they do is they stack the odds in their favor. Have their fighter come out last. Have their fighter be featured in his hometown. Have a blue corner and a red corner to try and influence the judges and the commentators and the journalists at ringside. They will get options. Like I already spelled out the strategies that they came up with. But is it rigged? No. They just try, just like the casinos in Vegas, they don't rig those games, but they will try to stack the odds in their favor.
Yeah.
That's what they did. But no, it's not fixed. And look, and Vaughn is saying this, and I know, I just wanted to get into that. He says, I'm not saying it's rigged. We know the promotional system and belt is rigged. Now it is. Back in the day, it was treated like a sport where fans, the paying customers, treated it, they paid attention to the rankings. When you saw a fight that had the number 7 contender fighting the number 8 contender, that actually meant something back in the day. It was still treated like a sport, and that's my point. Once again, the mob, they were smart enough to understand, hey guys, if we start rigging the game and start treating it and don't take the rankings seriously, then fans are ultimately going to lose interest.
Yeah.
And we don't want that because fans have always been the real bosses of boxing. Guess what's happening today in the American market because it's not treated like a sport any longer. Treated like a fucking business. What's happening? No one cares anymore. Not only that, these fighters from America are a bunch of prima donna bitches who want to get paid millions to stink out the joint.
Yeah.
And so there it is. There it is. So that's why I'm bringing that up, guys. And once again, I already know this to be true. Man, I should write a book about that. Man. Don't you think?
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd read a good book. I'd take a read. Take a take a gander.
Yeah, about the give your parting shots to our listening audience because we're already past the 96 minute mark.
96 minutes. All right. Parting shots is I don't know. Just glad to talk boxing with you guys. Hopefully we talk again soon. We gotta have a fucking afternoon show. I think that would be good. You guys still there? Cannot hear you guys.
I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to Warwick Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
Affordable Dentures proudly presents Adam Montequia Lopez.